Meeting to order. First order of business would be approved board meeting minutes for March 2nd meeting. Has everybody had a chance to read over them? Any additions, corrections need to be made?
I make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
I'll second that. Motion second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Okay, old business, zoning violation, nuisance ordinance, updates. Andrew, John, do you have anything?
We had somebody come in and put in for another permit, right?
Well, they sent it in. We're talking about on 29 East High. Andrew issued a letter, or we made a notice of order violation, and he sent that out certified. Then on the 20, I'm gonna get my numbers here. On the 31st, they brought a check by and apparently dropped it in the box in here in the office to renew their permit, and which would be part of the process to go ahead and do the repairs, or not the repairs, do the final installation. That should be done as well. But noticing on their permit, she said estimated start date 3/31/26, estimated completion date not sure. And I don't think I should take an application like that stating that. And one, it's 4 years, which I can straighten that out. As well, on the plans, she wrote down here, says you should have this on file. The plans have not changed from that. I don't think that she accepted the fact that there should be a driveway permit on it or not. And that was a question I'd sent to Andrew, I think, last week. I'm not sure that is. Do I contact her and ask her to make amendments to this? Because if I accept it as is, saying they're not for sure when they're going to get done, I shouldn't change her permit, no, without speaking to her.
I mean,
this is a wide open agreement.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Permit's only valid for a year, though, right?
That should be all it's for. I mean, make them changes, and then I don't. They had not made any kind of contact in reference to the violation itself. As so, I didn't know where we stood. I just want to make sure where we felt we needed to go. Now, I think I emailed the copies of this.
Yeah, let's go check. I mean, if you think about it too, our violations are not because she didn't pay the fee. Their home was not installed on permanent foundation. Access drive need to be the minimum, and drives located within a street need to be paid 15 feet behind the curb. So she's just renewing a permit but she hasn't brought her property into compliance.
No, it's not brought in compliance.
We could have cited her and said, "Hey, you're building without a proper permit that's expired. Here's your violation."
Did we not? We notified them multiple times that the permit was expired.
So I mean, and our actual notice wasn't even on those grounds. We had 3 different grounds we brought it on. We didn't bring it on construction without when they.
Is it possible that they're fixing part of it? Because we told them that their permit was expired, so now they feel like they're getting that part covered.
Yeah, I think they might be confused. But in my mind, they're solving the wrong thing. We sent them 3 days saying, like, listen, you got to fix these. Now you're wrong. I mean, construction without a permit, yeah, we don't like it, but, that's not, we're not going to get a lot of fuss. But if you're doing things that are actively against our building code, you need to fix these things if we want them to comply with our standards.
What are the 3 things? I'm sorry.
So, the home doesn't have basically a proper foundation. And John probably can explain this better. Maybe this
the foundation is not complete. That is something that has to be done. They should have their driveway installed, which comes under, it's actually 1, not I think 3. That's the same thing. They got minimum sizing of driveway. They got to have hard surface. So then. And it states the size and stuff. So it's all of those 2 things they really not complete besides not having the but now they applied, I believe, for the permit. I mean, I know they applied for the permit, but I almost felt like this was open-ended and I needed to contact or say something more to them about, amendment changes here or make the changes. But that'd be changing their document. That's where I was kind of like, no, wait a minute, I was talking to Ernie about for make changes and send it back.
I would tell them, I mean, that you're not going to make the changes. They need to reapply, and they need to reapply in a way that addresses those concerns. Like, make it, my building permit's going to be, I'm going to put a, permanent foundation in. I'm going to fix the driveway in a way that you feel comfortable. Because,
They're gonna have specific dates for that, okay?
Well, my issue is it gives me a year. I mean, if you go by your normal, but they're a local violation, but they're in a fine state. So that's why I'm saying, I'm like, how do we do this? You take this and say, well, you're in a fining state right now. Just applying for a new permit doesn't fix that because you're out of order here. Well, it all needs to be done. I think they need to have I don't like what you're saying, maybe a plan saying, okay, when are you going to have this done? Because otherwise, our council is at the rights of assessing that fine.
Yeah, you do that, the last one, you do that, and then that basically lets them off the hook, but for the purpose of it too.
But at the same token, they'd be doing the work without a permit at this point.
I think we have to be very clear if we accepted the permit about that difference. I can see somebody getting confused and saying, well, this permit is me a year, I'm getting 9 a year. The distinction is you need that permit first, you need to start something. Correct. And you still have that time to run in the thing you should have fixed a long time ago. So this is like, sharpening your pencil, now you have to actually do the test. Sharpening the pencil doesn't mean you get another year to do the test. But I could see someone saying, well, that permit gives me a year. I'm going to get this done. No, it's the first step. Step 0 to get where you get step 1.
Yeah. So we probably need to notify them back saying that the permit they need to would only be valid for a year, and then also that they are still under continuing enforcement of that fine. And then
Can we actually grant the new permit with the other two issues still pending?
Yeah, I think they have to.
I think it had to. Okay.
Yeah, it's like we're giving you permission to go ahead and get started fixing the problem.
Fixing the two issues.
Otherwise, they can start fixing the problem without the new permit, and then they have to start the problem where you.
So, but they need to be clear that they're in a fining state, so I wouldn't wait.
I think technically they have until Wednesday to appeal.
I think you're correct. It's 30 days. Well, if you look at make sure.
Yeah, April 8th. Yeah. They have until they can appeal our decision, but then I think it's actually person to notice.
So would it be the council's the feeling that I reach out through a phone call and try to tell them more of that? Because concerning this letter, I don't know.
we're waiting. I think we try a phone call first, and I mean, if that doesn't go through, then we'll. I don't know if you have an email for them or however to notify them to let them know that.
To do it eyeball to eyeball, you need to have another person with you.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you call them and you say it's not right, you can have them redo it in writing. So we're not saying, well, John told me at that time that we're here, that we. If we get to a point where you're willing to accept the permit, then I should probably send them a letter since, just to be clear, you're not giving yourself a new year. This is just the first step to fixing the problem that should have been fixed 30 days ago.
Many days.
Yeah, 30 days ago.
Yeah.
John, to discuss talking
Yeah.
with him first.
Talk on the phone, call, writing if necessary.
Okay. So what's where we at on that? Like I said, the chief says, like, I don't feel like notice in, because she also circled the driveway permit, even though, and I thought, I need to make sure they understand they've got to have that driveway, they got to have the foundation. And you're not getting on time, and I didn't want it, and I really probably felt like it in there for the councils.
There any other business on the zoning?
I have had calls on another location in town, and I've instructed them to send a letter to us, myself, the town council, and they asked who was the president. I gave them your name. I had not received it unless it's coming to the, and it's another structure in town that feel like it's in pretty bad shape. And I said, give me the written complaint so it can be forwarded on it. So I know they're not ready to report on it. More than that.
There any updates on the wastewater project?
Yes. We are in the process of still getting some final information put together. As they have some small depths and different things from down here on the sewer lines. We're looking at slight movement on from away from the road up into the sidewalk, because the sidewalk's probably going to get damaged anyhow. And looking at that would give a better lineup, so that may be beneficial for overall two processes that you know there. But most of all, the sewer line straightened up and would not have to be steep because work went down before they had the one of the storm sewer safety to run up, and the service needed to be that deep. It's just that they didn't have room. So if we moved over to the sidewalk, that would solve the problem, and we upgrade the sidewalk, which was done as well. But we're having a teams meeting on Wednesday, go over it, and I think they're hoping to have everything given out to the council before May meeting so they can get your blessing on going to bid.
Anything else with that? We good on wastewater?
On the wastewater project, yeah.
Okay. Next order will be utility bed snowplow. Everybody got an email on the lowest bidder or lowest estimate for the snowplow utility bed. I have a motion to go ahead and accept that from Minico for the utility bed and snowplow.
Yeah, I make a motion to accept that, the lowest estimate for Inco.
INCO.
INCO. Oh yeah. INPCO.
INPCO. IMCO. IMCO, yeah.
Motion.
That was it. I remember Myers and Elmers.
There you go. It was just by email.
It's lower yet.
Yeah. It was considerably lower than all those. Like you.
Airline.
Say again.
15,258.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I'm sorry, the snowplow part will come out of the NVH, and then the box part will be split between the utilities. Let's see here. What did we do on the salary? Is it
40 for
okay, 40% water, 30 on sewer, 30 on gas. So is everybody in agreement to that?
I'll second it.
All right, got a motion second, all in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none.
Was it gas 30 or was the
Water's 40.
Water 40, 30 on sewer and gas.
30? 30. So if you get my know what I get.
IMP.
Okay.
All right, new business, utility updates. John, Ben.
Okay, we were looking at the park, we're doing some maintenance stuff. I'd like to do some ground improvements there. You know, when it rains, the ball flips down there, coming down, it gets so flooded and stays there, it doesn't access and get around good. They originally had that just cut at such a sharp level where that it would drain. Hold that and keep it near impossible when you get worse and setting the soft thing, it fills up and stuff. We looked at running a pipe from basically on down first baseline, but on the outside of the field, along that field there, and put in some drop boxes. That pipe down, going around, coming to the lower side to the south east corner, where it dumps out in that field there. It runs that way. That's the way it goes in and out. Take it around that way and put in some drop boxes. And that way, that can run some shorelines out to the right by the dugouts. That's the way my users always puddles there. Cut it out, put some drop boxes from there out. Taking the water away from the field and from around where you would walk up to the dugouts and the bleachers, because everybody has to go through the area down there, and it holds water for a long while. When we get into regular spring and summer rains and stuff. Just looking at doing that, and the cost on our materials estimate. I printed this off. Let me see if maybe I didn't print it off. Oh, mercy. I started to do this counting up a few minutes ago, but I know that we was right at $1,400, I believe, in materials. Because we're going to have to use some gravel, of course, and do some concrete and stuff. But wanted to see if the council would be agreeable in letting us do that for the Parks Department, getting that, try to work on upgrading that.
Yeah, I think that would be very beneficial to go ahead and do that. I mean, we've got the equipment now and
Yeah.
The resources to do something like that. Very minimal interruptions to things.
Yeah, I think it'd be well worth it in
Yeah.
long term.
So, and that would just come out of the park.
Well,
fund.
that's what I was asking for, if we could possibly pull that out of a seated, there's some improvements there. And if not,
I think it's in the seated.
I don't know if we had any improvements where we could do that from. If not, well then,
We
but-
do have it in the park budget,
mm-hmm.
but I know,
It's kind of, yeah,
where it's always tight there, when it comes to that. I know we have a couple thousand that we would like to see something done on the walking trail.
yeah,
I know there's some issues with the walking trail.
yes,
So it just depends on what you all want to do with that money, or if they want to take it out of something else, to help.
About 1,400 round figure.
yes.
We do have money in the Riverboat fund. We have 23,185 in the Riverboat.
We don't have that ear tag for anything, do we?
No, you just have to make a motion to use it,
Oh.
if you want to use it out of the Riverboat.
Anyone know any reason why we shouldn't do that?
No. Should we go ahead and make motion
Yeah,
for
but
1800?
sure enough, you run into something you're not.
Yeah. So you guys are covered on that.
Okay.
Do you think that's enough?
I think it's more than enough.
Okay. I mean, I know things always just.
Find something to
Yeah,
run into,
yeah.
yes. And never see what's underground because you can't see it.
Yeah.
Make a motion, we allow up around $1,800 to be pulled from the Riverboat Fund to be used for the drainage and the softball, they call it softball field up there at the park.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none.
Thank you.
Utility adjustments.
Yeah, I know every month I keep asking you guys this. So I didn't know, Andrew, can we pass a policy where they don't have to do this every month as far as utility adjustments?
Yeah, they can give you and
John,
discretion
we
under
always-
certain standards or.
Yeah, so me and Jamie and the guys, every time there is a water leak or, or sewer problem, we go through all the readings and we discuss, okay, who needs adjusted, water, sewer. So then I bring it to you all for approval. So if you're all okay with it, as long as we work together, that way I don't have to keep putting on the
Yeah.
agenda.
I mean, as long as they're getting fixed in a timely manner. I know we've
Yeah.
had some issues in the past where things weren't getting fixed to
The
where.
customer side.
Yeah,
Usually
so I
we
mean,
give them like 2 months, and after 2 times, it's like, okay, you guys, we keep
Yeah.
adjusting this, so
Yeah.
you're gonna have to fix the issue.
so as
So I
long
think
as
it's
that's
2 times, and let's go to,
okay,
is
yeah.
that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
And do I have a motion to allow them to make the utility adjustments?
Make a motion, that we allow the, utility adjustment, on the water leaks like that to be, let Kim and them do that.
Yeah, I second that.
A motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Next order will be our water tracker. Ken, do you want to explain that
Yes.
for us?
Okay, so, as you know, the town of Santa Claus sent us a letter that they're gonna have to up our rates. Because the, Patoka Lake, increased their rates. So of course, that trickles down to us. They are increasing, our rates, 37 cents per thousand. So we asked Pat to do a water tracker for us, because of course we have to pass that on to our customers. And talking to him, he's done the water tracker. Because we have water loss, we're going to have to go more than the 37 cents per thousand. So it actually came to 48 cents per thousand. So just want to let the customers know that there will be an increase in the future, and we'll decide that here in a few minutes. But of course, we send Pat all of our information. Me and the guys send it to him, and he comes up with this tracker. Now, currently, there is in their current water ordinance, it states that we can change the water tracker at any time. So we don't have to pass an ordinance, but I'm recommending you make a motion to start this tracker with the new rates, starting April 22nd consumption, April 22nd to May 22nd. They'll get that first bill on June 5th, and it won't be due until June 20th.
Okay, so it's 2,000 gallon minimum, right, charge, so it will raise their water bill by $1, basically.
Basically, yeah.
So,
So for every 1,000, it'll be 48 cents. Yeah.
so do I have a motion to allow to accept the water tracker as the rate consultant presented?
Yeah, to raise 48 cents per thousand.
Yeah, and that'd be effective April 22nd.
I make a motion for that.
A second.
Okay, motion second, all in favor?
Aye. Yeah, that's gonna start April 22nd.
It'll be consumption April 22nd to May 22nd, first bill June 5th, not due until June 20th. And then they're going to start our increase in June. The town of Santa Claus will increase our rates starting in June that we pay them for our water.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll work out good on timing.
Right.
Did you have a question?
Well, I was just gonna say then the tracker's actually hitting in ahead of the actual.
So about simultaneous.
Yeah, they'll actually get billed. We'll get billed at the same time that.
We're getting billed June
Yes.
5th?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you meant that's when they's gonna start
No.
adding that on to the monthly.
They're gonna start, that's when we get that first.
First bill.
And
I
that's what
understand
we'll
that.
actually
So we
put
track
in.
a little before so we can pay the first bill.
That's fine. I thought you were saying we started getting the bill then, and that's what.
No.
All right, no one was opposed, right? So that motion's carried.
Yeah.
And we're good to go. Next order of business, prescription drug take back box.
We want to talk
I
about that?
don't know.
Okay, as you noticed, we have a drug take back box outside the town hall. I guess the county received, well, with the opioid money, they had a couple of boxes in the county, and then they were approved for them to buy and purchase some more. So they chose the town hall to have the box here at the town hall. So I guess what you can actually put in there, Chris, help me, is,
You can't put sharps in it.
you can't put, yeah. So unused or expired, prescription medications only in the box. And it's just like a drop box, so you can open it up, put the, bottles in there and then
Yeah,
open it.
but-
Is it prescription only? Cause I thought you could do like an aspirin that was.
Well, it's a prescription medication that in the
Okay.
article I got removed, but that doesn't mean,
Yeah, that's when they did.
I don't, yeah, I'm trying to, we can look, there's a sticker on it that says what it all
Okay.
takes.
they should not place boxes or not items that you shouldn't put in the boxes, needles, other sharps, liquids, aerosol cans, or thermometers. Okay.
How often that emptied?
That's up to the,
I think it's up to the county to come by. I'm
Yeah,
not
the
really
sheriff's
sure.
office
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all that.
They do them.
Cause with that grant, they also got an incinerator to where they can do their own disposal of it.
Yeah.
Cause before they were having to,
Take it somewhere.
yeah.
So just want to let you, I know I've had a few people come by and ask me about it. So it's officially unlocked now and they can come and actually drop their medications off.
A good thing. I wish there was a place.
Okay, well,
I wish there was a place for sharps because there aren't.
Oh,
But
solid waste.
Solid waste.
yeah, I guess.
I
I
think
don't
they
know, but
will.
I'm
I think the
in
solid waste
Chrisney, so I
office
don't. They
will
don't.
take them.
I
Yeah,
don't know if they do. I have to ask Carla.
you have to ask them. No.
All right. Is there any other business to be brought forth?
I had, last month, forgot to mention it, back when the water and sewer was ran, really the sewer line was ran across from the library.
Yeah.
It crossed, County Road 900 and went into the property of the neighboring property there, and they gave us an easement, and they didn't charge for it, didn't ask for nothing for it, except for it. He did ask, and it was Keith, or not Keith, Mike Waniger at the time, said, if we ever build over here, because someday some of our family may build, can they have a tap? And the council was agreeable to that. Well, it was never put in writing. It was just verbiage. Well, there's a cattle field back then. Nobody really thought about it, and that occurred. So we did put a tap in out there. I know I kind of spoke to each one individually at different times about this, but I felt like it needed to be put in the minutes in the town hall in case somebody
Question it.
questioned it. That tap for that sewer was not charged for that sewer because of their giving the easement.
Okay. Do we need to put the address in there? So, do they have a physical address?
They do have a physical address. I think it's like a 987 East, but I can't tell you. Yeah, it's a 3 numbers. It's not a street address because it's
Oh,
just on
okay.
the edge.
Okay.
Well, you can give it to me later. and-
Okay, yeah, I can get it. It's a new home construction there. It's going in.
Yeah.
So
So
I
they
just
weren't
wanted-
charged because the
For
tap
that
was
sewer
they
tap.
gave us-
Yeah.
They gave us an easement.
Permission.
They gave us the easement back then with no, Christian Sarah wanted his property, yes.
Sewer
Yeah,
tap.
sewer tap.
Because they gave us an easement.
And that's what they worked a lot of times in the past with folks on different things when we run mains.
Yeah.
If they didn't have like water, they would say, as part of ours, we'd like to have this. And that was just forgotten about. And I forgot to mention it on the last board.
Sounds good. There any other business? Upcoming events, the Chrisney Volunteer Fire Department's doing chicken dinners, and that'll be April 11th from 5 to 7 at St. Martin's Church Parish Hall. There's no other business to be brought forth. Our next meeting will be May 4th at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion.
I can do that. I'll take.
All right, meeting is adjourned.
You guys aren't doing anything this weekend. And I don't know how old people's kids are. And grandkids are having